Hey, I'm Karen. I'm a former CPA, entrepreneur, business consultant with big ideas, and I'm the mom.
I'm Cadie. I'm a payroll specialist, business owner, and detail-oriented person that makes things happen. And I'm the daughter. Welcome to Cheers to Business.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. Today it's Cadie and I, and we are in the conference room at the Container Yard. It's a co-working space here in Mobile, Alabama. Cadie, tell them why we're in the conference room.
Well, we just wanted to get some episodes recorded.
That, and I forgot to book the studio and somebody else is using it.
I was trying to not call you out. But today we're super excited because we are going to just be recording nugget information, just straight to the point information on some topics that you guys have submitted to us.
Right. So these are going to be short. There's going to be multiple ones of them.
A short little series.
That's it.
Series. This series is actually sponsored by Mastery.
The Mastery Network, how to master your own business. And so a lot of these nuggets are coming from the course program. Today we're going to talk about KPIs.
And you teach this program, correct?
I do.
But it's also available online where people can purchase the course?
I have a license that they can purchase, and they can do the course by themselves at their own pace.
What if someone else wanted to teach the course?
Actually, they contact me, and I can get them in touch with the right people to buy a license. And so when an advisor, a business coach or advisor, CPAs are good examples of those, even lawyers, but they can actually buy a license, and I can give them the information. That opens it up for 20 of their clients to be able to have access at one time. Yeah. No, it's the questions. You remember why we started the podcast?
Yeah, just to share information that we talk about every day.
And it was the questions we were getting asked every single week. And so this is what this program does too.
And recently we got asked about KPIs. I feel like you and I throw it out all the time. However, there was at a point where we didn't know what KPI was.
Remember that first Payroll Vault conference we went to?
Yeah, so Payroll Vault is a franchise, and every year all the owners get together just to really have round table discussions to compare our businesses, how things are going. And one of the key things that we review are the KPIs.
And when I found out what that meant, I was so embarrassed. I should have known what that meant.
So KPIs, go.
Key performance indicators.
So it can be really helpful when comparing your business to others in the franchise or just things within your own business year to year. So things like, let's say that you have a coffee shop, maybe revenue per cup of coffee, or the tip jar on a day-to-day basis, or give me another industry, a hair salon maybe.
How much money you got in the bank is usually most people's most common. What's your biggest indicator?
But even more of that, maybe your revenue growth year to year. Take someone that's in the same industry, work together.
Basically, anything that can be counted is a metric, and that's what KPIs are. They're a metric that quantifies your business. It's a count, percentage, or other type of measure, something specific about your business. Because what it does is it shows you the vital signs of your business. How's your business doing? Is it healthy, or is it in critical condition? A lot of times if you know your indicators and you see a jump, because it's just patterns. So if you see a jump or a wiggle, what you say? I don't know.
However you want.
So if you see a wiggle, you want to know why. So what you do is, if you're aware of your metrics, your KPIs, then you can watch and actually be more proactive in your business than reactive.
And there's a reason for everything. That's why I like them. As far as, like you said, if something wiggles, where did the waggle happen? We're going to go with that.
Let's just go with that one. Because, these KPIs, they're figures that can help you understand the patterns of your business and the trends over time. And if those patterns make sure you're going in the right direction. So how are KPIs measured? Okay. KPIs. I always knew when I needed to hire someone.
How?
Because I didn't call them KPIs. I just like percentages, and because they show patterns. I knew when my staff cost got below a certain trigger point, I needed to hire, because percentages on like your profit and loss, your income statement, they're all based on what percentage for every $100 coming in, where's your money going? And, I've said that before on the podcast. I call it the 100. When my salaries, the number itself is the same, but instead of 30% of my income for every $30 coming in was going to the staff, it would be 28. That's an indicator.
Do you see that labor cost percentage change across industries, or do you think it's a pretty standard 30%?
No, it's totally different. Dentist, doctor's offices, if you're $25 for every
So
100,
25%.
25%. If you got something like Marine Exhaust and you're a fab shop, a manufacturing company, and so the more orders you have in, the more people you need, then it becomes a variable cost. So it's floating.
So to break it down very simple, just for understanding purposes, let's go back to the dentist. So customer comes in, pays you $100.
Right.
$25 of that is going to go to pay that person who worked on that $100.
Who cleaned those teeth? Mm-hmm.
Okay. So theoretically, if $500 is coming in,
then 25% of that.
Theoretically, it should increase by that same percentage.
And that's why it always told me when to hire, because if to go from 30% of your money coming in to 28%,
people are doing more work.
There's more revenue, which means there's going to be more work later. So you better hire now before you need them. If you know your numbers, you can watch and I guess prevent disasters later or get prepared for a great stream of revenue.
So, and probably the first step to getting a company's KPIs, let's say that someone, what's my KPIs? Well, first figure out what KPIs you're interested or what indicators you need to pay attention to. And I would probably think the first step to doing that is Google,
Oh, yeah.
your industry, what KPIs are out there so that you can use those as a benchmark.
Associations. I guarantee you, well, if you're any kind of, quote, professional.
A dentist association, restaurant.
These associations, well, even like the home builders for construction workers, they know the numbers already. Somebody's already done the math.
Well, so even in payroll vaults industry, the payroll industry, we know, the average revenue per check process. Nationally. So
Right.
we're kind of able to compare that. Now, granted, we know where we're located. That's a factor, our target market. So there's all these variables, but, you can kind of use your industry of your own industry, intelligence of your industry
Right.
to gauge that. So besides knowing what KPIs you want to use, you also have to have that data to be able to analyze the figures or get the percentages. And that's where an accounting or bookkeeping software is going to come into play, correct?
Right. Yeah. Everybody, if you say I have a business and you don't have something in order to keep your books,
Even just
you're
a
not.
spreadsheet.
Do
something. If, for example, how much did you spend on inventory last year? I don't know, and I'm like,
that hurts your soul.
It does, because where you can go is limited if you're not tracking that stuff, I feel like.
To me, it's the only way to grow. You've got to see those indicators, those key performing indicators, KPIs, to know that's, to me, you have to have them in order to grow your business.
And the sooner you start that information, the better. Like, I'm so thankful we kept the books from day one for Payroll Vault. I mean, from the very first payroll that we processed, just because we're able to analyze that data from day one and see that growth year to year.
If you could see our graphs.
There's probably at times too many. Well, we start looking at one thing and then that opens another door, and then
It's because we squirrel. We can't even stay on track.
So in a nutshell,
find out what your KPIs are. You don't have to totally understand them to start looking at your numbers in order to go, oh, this is normal and this is not normal. Find your normal, because then process of elimination, an abnormal is going to poke up its ugly head.
and if this isn't something that you do, find a business coach, a bookkeeper, a CPA, or an accountant, a consultant.
There's people that love this stuff.
We are those people.
I know.
I don't
We're
do
such
it for
nerds.
other people, but you do.
I do.
And so find someone who loves this so that you can keep doing what you love, but this is important whether you like it or not.
There's so many things that I can't do. I can't roof my house. I can't sing.
We don't enjoy cleaning.
I can't run a restaurant. We can't do all these other things, but everybody's numbers sing and they tell a story, and that's where our talent is.
Exactly.
That's our circle. And so,
Stay in your circle.
right. So if you want to dabble in a circle, you're dabbling in business, you're running a business. Do you want to run a successful, growing, viable entity of
I
a
like
business.
that. Are you kind of, playing with your business, this
Right.
side thing, which that's fine if that's all that you want to do. But if you're really wanting it to take it to the next level and you don't enjoy this stuff, get someone in your life who does.
Yeah, because when you're going good, it's very exciting, and you can ride on that high. You can run on that excitement high. But if you don't do the boring stuff that you don't like, it's going to be real hard to manage that over a long period of time.
Cheers to running a business.
Cheers to knowing your KPIs.
Please be sure to subscribe to Cheers to Business podcast on iTunes or anywhere else that you get your podcast. Visit our Facebook and be sure to give us a like. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to discuss, shoot us an email from the website cheerstobusiness.com.